Ho, 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 hello, and welcome to the Christmas episode of the Culture Swally, a podcast dedicated to Scottish news and Christmas pop culture. My name is Saint Nicky, and I'm joined, as always, by the man who feels all warm and fuzzy and Christmassy, cuddling up to Big Bobo, his cellmate. It's Greg. How are you today, Greg?
I'm okay. I was actually at my first Christmas gathering of the year last night.
Nice.
Our friends. This is the third year in a row. Our friends host. They host it early because a lot of them are teachers, and the schools here break up on Friday, and a lot of these guys travel home over Christmas, so they always have it this weekend. The sort of thanks. We're recording this on St Andrew's Day Eve, otherwise known as Thanksgiving weekend. If you want to get all American about it. So we had quite a nice evening last night. Had my first turkey and pigs and blankets of the year, and I've not really been doing a lot of drinking lately, because I've been playing a lot of paddle, getting right into the old paddle. I've also been playing quite a lot of tennis as well. So obviously, alcohol affects your performance in all different disciplines, doesn't it? Although there was one performance that, if anything, it was good for when I was younger. It's fucking not good for that anymore. But yeah, honestly, fucking hours when I was in my mid-20s. It's like fucking Sting. But I only had...
Do you remember there was a whole storyline in EastEnders with Phil Mitchell when he had Brewer's Droop? Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, well, it comes to all of us eventually, Phil. I only had I had 4 bottles. I know exactly what I had to drink. So I had 4 bottles of Peroni, and before the meal. And I did drink them a little bit quickly because, I don't know, I just, sometimes you have a beer and it just goes down really well. It was just the temperature was perfect. It's a good chat. I was having a good laugh with the guys there and stuff. And then I had 2 glasses of red wine with my dinner, and that was all I had. And I came home, cleaned up the kitchen, read a few pages of my book, went to sleep, woke up this morning feeling fucking rubbish. Rubbish. I've not had a hangover for, I don't know, a year maybe since I've had a hangover. But a really, really difficult morning this morning. Fortunately, by the time lunchtime came round, I was kind of back to normal, but I felt fucking dreadful.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're here with us. That's much appreciated. But, that's not so good. Maybe you're just not match fit anymore or getting a little bit out of it. I don't know.
I suspect it is that because, sometimes I'm sort of at a stage where if I'm going to be socialising and there's going to be more than maybe 2 or 4 other people, then I kind of need it to be people that I know and like. You know what I mean? I've got my work's Christmas night out on Friday this week, and I'm absolutely fucking dreading it. Dreading it. So I just can't. You get to a certain age, and you're like, I could go to the works night out. I could be doing fucking shots at 9 o'clock and having a laugh and blah blah blah. And then Saturday, even if I'm not hungover, I'm just going to be fucking knackered. I'm not going to feel like doing anything. I'll be lethargic. I'll just waste my day. So I've not really been. I'll be about 1 or 2 beers maybe if I'm watching a film, but that's it. You know what I mean? Literally nothing more than that. I've got a really nice bottle of whiskey as well. It's that every time I walk into the kitchen, it's sort of calling to me, and I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it. I'll have a nice dram on Christmas Eve or something. So that was my day.
Oh, very good, very good. 2 things. I was back in England. I say back. I was in England, last weekend for a wedding, and went into Pret a Manger. And they had pigs in blanket sandwiches. And that is the closest I have come to giving up being a vegetarian. I for years and years, I fucking hated Christmas, but the one thing I loved about Christmas was pigs in blankets.
Yeah.
I remember one year my sister didn't make them, and I was like, that's Christmas ruined. And she's made them every year since, but obviously I haven't eaten them for the past 5 years. And Yeah, I wasn't actually tempted, but I was like, that is the thing. If I lived in the UK, or if there was a shop here that sold them and I was in it on a regular basis, I would be fucking tempted at some point. It was because it looked so fucking good. But I didn't. I had a cheese and pickle sandwich instead. It was all fine. It's funny though you were saying that, because I was at a wedding, and that was probably the biggest social event I've been to in terms of completely sober. I've been 4 months, so I've not had anything. And it was interesting to view it from that different perspective and seeing the casualties as the night was going on and on and on. I think it was one of the groomsmen, his wife, by about 8 p.m, she was fucking hammered and was dancing like possessed. And yeah, it was just interesting seeing all the casualties. It was fun. And I was sitting there at like 9 p.m. at a wedding drinking a cup of tea, and it was fucking bizarre. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very good. It was good.
The thing about a wedding, I mean, I've not been to a wedding for like a really, really long time. Like maybe like 5 or 6 years since I was last at a wedding. Because like sort of at an age now where everybody's married, you know what I mean? But I mean, like, if it's a proper fucking shift, a wedding,
yeah,
you know, because normally someone's putting a drink in your hand, if you're lucky, around midday, but could be before that. You know what I mean? Depending on how close to the whole wedding you are. You know what I mean? If you're one of the groomsmen, you might have had 3 or 4 beers before even getting to the church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or even a dram, but just sort of toasting the groom, a wee dram before we head out and stuff. You've really, really got to make sure that you take every opportunity to eat that comes your way. Whether that's a packet of crisps over the bar, or like a bowl of Stovies, or whatever it is. If you want to see, at my wedding, the mistake that we made was, well, we didn't make the mistake, actually. The fucking photographer, for whatever reason, wanted to devote something like 90 minutes to photographs between the service, which we had in the same venue, so it was just all in one place, because the minister came to the hotel, and then the reception starting. So by the time we managed to kind of get ourselves away from the photographer and join the rest of the wedding party, some people were fucking absolutely hammered. And it was like 3:30 or something in the afternoon. We hadn't had the meal or the speeches or anything. And somebody, I think our mutual friend's ex-wife, I don't think she didn't make the meal, did she? He had to put her to bed, I think.
I think she did, because I was sat with her for a good while. I think she did make the meal, but then she went to bed.
Yeah.
That was the most animated I'd ever seen her.
Right.
Hammered. She was good fun. But yeah, had to go to bed, unfortunately.
Yeah. There was a few people that happened. A few people were were early casualties. But yeah, I do enjoy a wedding, I have to say.
Yeah. I have to admit, I felt like that's the first wedding I've been to since that wedding in Glasgow. Went to Scots. Oh yeah, my own. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah. Fucking hell. Was Scott's wedding, which would have been back in 2014.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So 11 years ago.
Wow.
And first wedding, and it was interesting in terms of, because I knew nobody. I only knew my girlfriend. That was it. Nobody else at the wedding, and we're sat with other people who didn't know, but we're chatting away, and was speaking to this guy Rohit, and I felt like the most boring bastard, because there was glasses of champagne on the table, and I was like, oh, do you want mine? Oh, do you not drink? I was like, no, I've stopped drinking. Oh, okay. And then of course the food comes out, and everyone's getting massive fucking steaks.
Yeah.
And they put down my butternut squash with a bit of feta cheese and pesto, and he's like, oh, are you a vegetarian? I was like, yeah. So I felt like the most boring bastard in the world, but hey,
you've just chosen an alternative path, that's all. Got
to see Rohit just before I left, and I thought, you're going to be feeling that tomorrow, mate, because he was quite pissed. Yeah. Never bites. Anyway, well, so that's it.
I've got a wedding to go to in October next year, because my youngest sister got engaged the other week. So she's...
Nice.
We've got a wedding to go to in October. I think October the 3rd, in Newcastle, or Newcastle as the Geordies call it, and they should know because it's where they live. So, but my oldest daughter has decided that she is going to be moving to Glasgow in the summer.
Oh, wow.
With a view to going to college in Glasgow, one of the colleges there. So it's kind of fucked up our summer holiday. It's like between the wedding and this big decision that she's made, it's sort of fucking up my summer holiday a little bit, to be honest. Because now I'm going to have to pay because we're going to have to take her and get her squared away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the three of us need to fly back in October for the wedding. She'll have to get the train down from Glasgow for it. So yeah, I'm quite excited for her because she'll be 18, but also obviously fucking terrified that she's going to be all right. But she knows Glasgow a wee bit. I think she'll be all right. I think she should be okay. She's reasonably level-headed when she wants to be.
Yeah, no, I'm sure very street smart and be okay. That's a big move. Wow. Oh, that's going to be a logistical fun for you for next year. But you can worry about that next year, mate.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to worry about it right now.
Absolutely,
it's all good. All good. Oh, fun. Oh, well, then we'll have definitely a correspondent in Scotland.
Culture Swally correspondent on the ground.
Wonderful. She'll be able to give us all the best news. Sure. Speaking of which, shall we have a look at what's been happening in Scotland over the last couple of weeks?
Seamless link there. Cue the jingle.
Hello. This is the Outer Hebrides Broadcasting Corporation, and here is what's been going on in the news.
Thank you very much, Greg. Okay, what have you seen in the news in Scotland in the last couple of weeks you'd love to share with me and our lovely listeners?
Well, this is one of the most bizarre stories that I've seen in quite a while. I mean, there was a story that was going about a couple of weeks ago about a girl in Glasgow who faked a pregnancy for like months. And then she even faked having had the baby and then claimed the baby had died. That'd been absolutely bizarre. But this lady is, perhaps not as horrible, but still pretty weird. So it comes from the Facebook page Exposing Dundee. A loopy Dundee teacher who was struck off after faking a cancer diagnosis, a wedding, and her own death is still tutoring children in the north of Scotland. Lara Simpson taught at a Dundee primary school and attended Dundee University, and she fabricated a leukemia diagnosis and fooled friends and colleagues for 2 years. On different occasions, she showed up to the school with crutches, a wheelchair, an oxygen tube up her nose, and a prosthetic leg.
Oh my God, this is going to extreme levels. Holy shit.
To keep up the insane ruse. She even shaved her head. She then claimed to be undergoing several operations and told colleagues that she only had 6 months to live. She told everyone she planned to marry in her final days, and she even bought a dress for a pupil and told her she could be a bridesmaid. In March 2023, she pretended to be her own auntie so she could inform everyone that she had passed away, and she then moved back to her hometown in Thurso in Caithness. But then she was spotted online doing a park run.
Oh my God. Fucking hell.
Confused former colleagues wondered where her missing leg was. and how she had come back to life. She was then employed by the Highland Council, but they have refused to comment. She started a dance school called Lass Dance Collective and taught children at a primary school in the Thurso area. The school has since taken down any mentions of her classes being held there. So there is a picture of her here with, oh no, it's not. She's got a strap around her knee. I thought she actually had a prosthetic leg, like below the knee, because like the way the light is, her shin looks a lighter shade than the rest of her legs. So she must have put her actual leg into a prosthetic leg.
how? I mean, like, this is you tell a lie and then it just goes on and on and on and on. But what the fuck? Like, this is taking it to extreme levels. Like, how on earth would you do this? To be caught doing a fucking park run, of all things, when you're only supposed to have one leg. That is fucking mental.
And you're supposed to be dead.
Well, oh yeah, of course. That's the larger fact, yeah. Resurrected and our legs grown back. Holy shit.
I mean,
so what is the...
It doesn't explain what her motivations were for doing it. It's really weird. I don't know, maybe it's like you mentioned, maybe it's like a little lie. Maybe she's like claimed to have leukemia to get a day off school or something one day, and it's just like snowballed, and she's come to the conclusion, well, the only way out of this is to fake my own death and move to Thurso.
It's fucking bizarre. Just this week, I watched the that episode of the IT Crowd. I don't know if you've watched the IT Crowd.
Yeah.
The episode where they go to the theatre and it uses the disabled toilet and they knock on the door. He's, I'm disabled. And the rest wheels out that he goes to the wheelchair, meets the cast. Moss is working behind the bar because he used the staff toilet. And I'm like, that's an example of... tell a lie and it goes, it grows legs and you have to act it out. This is what this woman's done. She's told a lie, but absolutely mental. This is real extreme in terms of, it's more than words.
I mean, it's serious. It's like serious commitment. If only our mutual friend had that level of commitment, maybe they'll get caught out so much.
I mean, he's never said anything quite extreme, but, well, maybe. But maybe, I don't know. But yeah, that is commitment to the cause. That is definitely method acting in its finest in terms of that. Jesus Christ.
Very, very odd. Anyway, that's my first story this week. Loopy Lara from Dundee, or formerly of Dundee, late of Caithness. What was your first story this week?
My first story also involves a fucking loony bam pot. And it is from the Scottish Sun this week, Greg. And the headline is, I don't. A controversial aristocrat has launched a bid to find a new wife, but says Scots needn't apply. Sir Benjamin Slade, 79, says his bride would need to be at least 20 years younger and has barred anyone under 5'6", Guardian readers and Scots. Sir Benjamin also stipulates that his new wife must not be a Scorpio, use drugs, or be an alcoholic. He's also after a good breeder, so he can have a male heir.
What, with a 59-year-old woman? I'm not sure she's going to be up for it, to be honest.
That was exactly my query as well. He said in his post, Guardian readers, Scorpios, drug users, alcoholics, Scots. That's you've just summed up a few there in one. People under 5'6", people from countries beginning with an I, people who have green in their flag, and people from countries that don't wear overcoats in the winter need not apply. Is that what? I don't mind Canadians, Americans, Germans, or Northern Europeans, what I like to call similar people. I don't think marrying an Eskimo is for me. What I need is a nice ordinary country girl who knows and understands things. I'm very social. I go out a lot, and I have to have somebody who fits in. Sir Benjamin, who descends from Charles II, says she can't come from countries beginning with an I that have green in their flag. They must also be able to ballroom dance, play bridge and backgammon, and do crosswords. The candidate must also be able to do lots of physical exercise, such as fast walking, and be able to swim. He said his preferred candidate must also have a shotgun and driving licence. And a helicopter licence would be beneficial.
Fucking hell.
She must be able to run 2 castles and have estate, legal and accountancy training. In return, so for all of this, the new Lady Slade will be paid £50,000 a year, plus a bonus, and this includes a car, a house, expenses, foods and holidays. He added, I could have 2 sons. 3 would be better. But if I get 2 sons, that saves the situation. What the fuck? He's 79 and he's wanting to have 2 sons. You always have to have a lady of the house. Women run houses. People think that's sexist. But Jane Austen said if you have a big house, you need a wife. The ladies run the house.
That current social commentator, Jane Austen.
He said he would have to marry a lady at least 20 years younger. For tax reasons. He says that death tax is 40%. The only way I can pass the estate of art collection, etc., is to leave it with a wife tax-free, who then disposes of it to my distant relatives. Obviously, she has to live for 7 years. She would also have to be insured. That's why I need a lady at least 20 years younger than me. I can't insure an older wife, so the younger the better. Okay, fair enough, Sir Benjamin. Obviously, the widow would receive a financial percentage for passing it on. This is the only way left to get around inheritance tax. So, there we go. Barmy, Sir Benjamin, Scots cannot apply to be his new lady. I mean, I'm sure the Scottish, all of our women are weeping at being excluded from this man's wish list.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like a cunt, I've got to be honest. It's also quite ironic that the subject, one of our news stories on the Christmas episode, has got the second name Slade, considering it's a big Christmas anthem by those Brummie boys.
It certainly is, yeah, right enough. Of course it is. Quite a list he has. Like, I mean, he could have just said, I'm looking for a young woman, but it's obviously not just about physicality for him, because, you know, she needs to have a helicopter license and a shotgun license.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Well, he just said she had to have a shotgun. He didn't mention if she had to have a license.
I think it's the way it's written. It does say... oh, yeah, you're right. He said preferred candidates must have a shotgun and driving license. So, yeah, don't know. Mental. I mean, I know he's obviously looking for a new bride. You have a kind of a list in your head of like, well, you know, ideally a few years younger, maybe, you know.
When you said that there, yeah, you do have a list in your head when you're really? I don't. I mean, sure, I've not been on the market for over 20 years, so it's been a while since I've gone looking for a significant other.
No, but you have kind of certain things that you would... I'm saying nothing, actually. I'm just going to shut up.
Just digging a huge hole there.
Yeah, dig myself out. I might go and see if... Sir Benjamin doesn't say it has to be a woman, I don't think, so maybe I could apply.
You're Scottish, mate. You're
fuck.
You're Scottish, you don't have a helicopter licence or a shotgun. So I think you're on to plums, mate.
Well, I'm out, unfortunately. Well, never mind, Sir Benjamin. Best of luck. I hope you find yourself a cracking new bride.
Yeah, I fucking hope you don't. I hope you fall down the stairs and break your hip.
I will be looking to see if there's any update in his search and see... I would love to know if or how many applications he gets, because I guarantee he'll get quite a few applications.
Yeah, undoubtedly there'll be women that will be like, can probably put up with him for a while. You know?
79, maybe 5 years most. Like, I'm sure he could have some sort of nasty fall or something.
Probably doesn't look after himself particularly well. Probably eats a lot of red meat, drinks a lot of brandy, probably even still smokes. You know what I mean? All that sort of thing. Yeah. It's a safe bet. Put up with him for a few years, cash in. Yeah,
there's a picture of him there with his he's got a gun. And he's shocking. Got a bullet belt. But there's no bullets in it.
A bandolier, I think it's called, right?
Okay.
I think.
And he has what looks like a Jack Russell under his arm.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Yeah, never mind.
I thought he'd been more of a Springer Spaniel man. So.
Yeah, you would think so, but no, evidently not. He does like the little dogs, and there's a photo of him in his house, and he has a cushion, a scatter cushion, which has a West Highland Terrier wearing a Napoleon jacket. You know, like a Napoleon style jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a tunic? I don't know. Is that what it's called?
I think it might be a tunic. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, he's wearing a Westie with a tunic on. But yeah, he doesn't like Scots, so I don't know why he's got that Westie cushion, but never mind.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. All right, Greg. What else have you seen this week?
Well, obviously the big news since the last time we recorded was Scotland qualifying, not only qualifying for the World Cup next year, but qualifying in the finest of styles. In their game against Denmark. I was in Kuwait. So the kickoff was at 10:45, and Denmark have always put out a pretty decent team over the years. And I thought, I'll watch the first 5 or 10 minutes, then I'll put the light out. So I'm in bed, I get it on, and obviously we scored that early goal. So I'm like, fucking hell, it's on. So I end up watching the whole game. And by the last 15 minutes, I've had to get out of bed to watch it. Like lying in bed watching it just didn't seem right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it felt wrong. By the time the final whistle blew, it was limbs. I couldn't believe it. I was watching it on my phone as well, so I was just oh man, absolutely brilliant.
It was fantastic.
So obviously, many members of the Proud Tartan Army will be travelling over to America next year to watch the Scots in action. However, it may not be as easy as you might think, because Tartan Army foot soldiers heading to the US for the World Cup are going to face social media checks under Donald Trump's strict new visa rules, which are giving border agents more powers, meaning thousands of football fans could be refused entry to the US next summer. Scotland blazed into the finals last week after their spine-tingling 4-2 win over Denmark on Tuesday night, with the group stages draw set to take place on December the 5th. Fans are already applying online for ESTA visas to enter the US, which is hosting the tournament alongside Mexico and Canada. However, punitive border policies and social media screening were reinstated this year on President Trump's orders. He has vowed to crack down on Antifa protesters, which could cover a broad range of political opinions that he doesn't agree with. And it means thousands of football fans could be refused entry to the US after border agents were given more powers to turn back travellers at the gate. Officials will be able to review social media activity linked to a traveller's visa application, and offensive posts, political content, or even jokes about security or drugs could also cause visa issues under new US moral character clauses.
God.
Jesse Chambers, who works for the holiday provider Global Work and Travel, said, with Trump's administration reinstating stricter entry rules, fans need to treat this World Cup as a high-risk travel event, not a holiday you can book at the last minute. Last week it was revealed that the Tartan Army shook the earth as they celebrated Scotland's historic World Cup qualifier. The Hampden victory over Denmark clinched Scotland's place at the 2026 World Cup for the first time in 28 years, and the crowd's reaction to the moment Kenny McLean lobbed Denmark goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel to secure a 4-2 win has been recorded by the British Geological Survey. Officials have now said fans' euphoric outbursts were the equivalent to an extremely small earthquake. A second significant amount of seismic activity came moments later when the final whistle sounded last Tuesday night. An official attendance of 49,587 was recorded at the game. Official BGS readings were recorded at Glasgow Geothermal Observatory in Dalmarnock, about 2 kilometres from Hampden Park. So there you go. 2 stories there for the price of one, all related to Scotland's glorious qualification for World Cup. But I mean, it's bad, isn't it? I mean, it's like something out of a fucking, like, you know, a kind of Big Brother or Fahrenheit, 1984 or Fahrenheit 451 sort of society. You know, where if they can see you've ripped the cunt out of America or American politics or something, they won't let you in.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling there'll be a few people getting turned away for something they've said. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, you're right, it is. It's the thought police coming in to police, you know, what you're allowed to say or think, or, you know, you're not allowed to have an opinion. Ironically, you know, fucking Trump's one of the biggest, tweeters. I don't think he does. Does he still tweet or X, or he's got his own platform?
It's like the social truth collective or something it's called, right?
So, like, it's mental. that people are going to be not able to go or getting turned away just because of a tweet they've said.
Yeah.
I think it has, a lot of people are now planning to go and will be awaiting with bated breath the draw next week to see where we're going to be.
Yeah. I've got to go to Atlanta for work in February, but I've already got an ESTA because I got an ESTA for going to New York earlier this year, so it lasts for 2 years. I don't need to apply again. But I wasn't expecting to go to America next year. I only found out the other day that I need to go, so I thought my American trips were going to be a bit fewer and further between. I thought we'd go to Hong Kong more, but it seems not. So, but yeah, what do you make of that? Like a wee earthquake, a little mini, extremely small earthquake in Glasgow as the fans all celebrated at Hampden.
I can quite believe that though, because it was just been absolutely fucking mental. I mean, I got swept up in the euphoria as well because I was similar. I was kind of like, am I going to watch it or not? I don't know. And my girlfriend was like, oh, come on, let's watch it. And then, McTominay scored in the 4th minute. I was like, great, that's now fucking 86 minutes we have to go of backs to the wall. And then, 1-1, 2-1. And when they scored at 2-2, it was like, well, that's it. There's no way. Yeah. No way are we going to, score again against Denmark. And fuck me. When Tierney's goal went in, and then obviously Kenny McLean at the end, just absolutely just that, Tierney's goal went in and you're like, okay, great, but there's still like 6 minutes and you're shitting, you're like, oh no, come on. So when McLean hit that, and you're just like, you fucking beauty, that's it. No, nothing can happen now. We're there. We're there.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. And I can quite believe. I mean, the next day, like I downloaded all the Scottish football podcasts and we're listening to them. I came home. I watched the game again. I must have watched that last injury time about 6-7 times. Just fucking phenomenal. Swept up in the euphoria. I was about to order my new Scotland kit and I thought, you know what? Just calm down. Calm down.
Booking flights to the US, applying for your ESTA.
I will be going nowhere near the US whilst Trump's in charge, I'll tell you that. I will be watching from afar, but I'm not setting foot anywhere near the US whilst he's there. Just absolute euphoria, and it was just amazing. And it's our mutual friend said, because I knew I was going to England, I wonder how long it'll take before someone mentions the football. And of course, like three or four people. Great result.
The
Fine.
thing is, whenever England are in action, the sort of collective Scottish attitude is broadly very fucking negative, right? Towards England. But in my experience, their fans are always really gracious when they're talking about Scotland. You know what I mean? They're not. I know that they're not sitting there watching Scotland play Denmark going, come on, Denmark, fucking get it right, get right into these fuckers, you know what I mean? It's exactly what we do, regardless of who England's playing,
Yeah, fucking right. And then, but that's the thing. And it could be genuine that they're saying, it was a great result. I really want Scotland to do well. And we just look like, you condescending fucking prick. You don't really think that. Let the jocks have a little trip to the World Cup. It's been a long time. It'll be great, I'm going to put fairy liquid in Monument Fountain and stuff, and it'll be a laugh. But no, we're just like, fuck off. So no. I did like the Scottish Sun's headline the following day, and it was Donald Farge Boozers. That was very good. I wonder how long you've been sitting on that one. So, I like that. But, it's wonderful. We'll be at the World Cup, Greg.
I know.
Great. We'll have to get a World Cup special on the go.
Definitely will. It just brings back memories of the World Cup in France in 1998, last time we were there. Because I was 19. Was I?
Yeah.
No, I was almost 20. I was nearly 20.
Yeah.
Every game, regardless of the result, I watched every game Scotland played in the pub, and every fucking time it was just a brilliant atmosphere. Even after, I remember I watched I watched one in Cafe Drummond. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe the Norway game. And then next thing, I'm on the fucking Castle Gate with thousands of people, as if Scotland had just won the World Cup. You know what I mean? They literally got a draw with Norway, and we're like, it's like taken to the streets. You know?
But that's our wonderful optimism, because I was the same. I watched all 3 games in Heroes. It just opened. I was only 17, but we managed to get in and get served for the Brazil game, and it was like, right, we're going back there for the next games.
Yeah.
And because we lost to Brazil and drew in Norway, and it's like, well, we're going to fucking beat Morocco. Of course we'll beat Morocco. So we're going through to the next round. Yes, fucking. So that's why the celebrations after Norway.
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
got pumped 3-0 by Morocco.
I know.
Fucking bastards.
I know. And we would have got a draw out of Brazil if not for fucking Tom Boyd. Fuck's sake, mate.
No, it's poor Tom Boyd. I feel sorry for him for that, but never mind.
Yeah.
What can you do? But yeah, it's fantastic that we'll beat the World Cup. I'm delighted. Can't wait.
Me too. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, that is my second and final story of this week. What have you got for us next?
Well, I'm jumping on your bandwagon, Greg. I've got a story about Scotland's national team getting to the World Cup. Fucking yes, come on, let's do it. It's from the Scottish Sun last week, and the headline is Tat's Dedication. Very Swally-centric story. We've had quite a few stories over the years of fucking dafties getting tattoos.
We have indeed.
Well, Ross Baird, congratulations. You've joined the Swally gallery of tattoo dafties. Scotland daft supermarket worker has immortalised Scott McTominay's stunning overhead kick in ink with a tattooed tribute. Tartan Army diehard Ross Baird, 29, couldn't resist getting an inking of his favourite player after watching Steve Clarke's Miracle Men beat Denmark 4-2 to reach the World Cup. The dad of 2, from Methill, Fife, said, "Believe it or not, I was talking about getting a Scott McTominay tattoo in the lead up to the Euros, but the idea faded away a bit. Then I said, if we qualify for the World Cup, then I'm dead set on getting it. It was always going to be a McTominay Scotland tattoo. And when he scored that goal, I thought, that's perfect." He got the tattoo etching on Thursday by artist Liam Cooper at the tattoo company in Leven, Fife. Ross forked out £90 for the outline, and it will decide later if he wants to add some colour to the finished article. He added, "I'm still on a high now. It was an emotional roller coaster." Ross shared the snap of his McTominay tat on the Tartan Army Group Facebook page, which boasts 43,000 members. His post quickly racked up more than 800 comments and even inspired someone else to get the inking. One Scotland fan gushed, "Looks great. Would be a great on a t-shirt as well." Aye, better than inking it on your fucking skin. A second wrote, "Touch of class." Third wrote, "That's a beauty." And a fifth simply hailed it as outstanding. And then the rest of the article is basically about the game, which we've already covered. So the inking is pretty shit now I look at it properly.
Oh, is it really?
It's quite bad now. It's like McTominay's, oh dear. Yeah, that's not good. The ball and his foot are all kind of one. And it's got McTominay doing the overhead kick, his legs look out of proportion, and it's got written underneath it, "He loves the Tartan Army, he turned the English down." So there you go. That's his lovely McTominay tattoo. Jesus wept. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna fade. I mean, yes, it was a great goal, but do you think? I wonder if there's a lot of people that have got like Archie Gemmell's goal tattooed on them, or there must be some people that do.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Archie Gemmell's goal was a great goal, but it didn't have like any acrobatics in it, did it? That's the thing. Just like a wee balding cannonball, like beating fucking 4 Dutch players, putting it in the corner of the net. I don't know. I mean, I've often thought about getting a tattoo, like a sort of Scottish tattoo, but I wouldn't just want to get a sort of rampant lion or something. I've always tried to think of something original, but still like undoubtedly Scottish. But I've never really been able to settle on anything. Like my sister asked me to draw a thistle a few years ago that she was going to get tattooed on her. So I did, but she obviously didn't like it because she's never had it tattooed on. So maybe I'll get my own thistle tattooed somewhere on my person. Don't know.
I had a guy I knew in Dubai. It was actually a really nice, it sounds shit when I describe it, but it was actually really quite cool. It was on his shoulder, and it kind of, on the front and the back, the way it almost looked like a tribal kind of tattoo.
Right.
But when you looked at it properly, it was a rampant lion.
Okay.
But the way it actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
In terms of, it wasn't just, the fucking red lion there. It was the blue, like black blue tattoo, but it actually looked quite cool. But I don't know. I'm kind of the same. I've often thought about getting like a Scotland tattoo, but I don't know what I would get in terms of, you're right, like thistle, or get a wee Scotty dog, or
I seem to remember you saying that the barcode that you've got tattooed on your back was like the barcode for a can of Iron Brew.
No,
did you never say that?
No. I've definitely never said that. I would
that's
never.
Weird.
No.
Why did I think that? There's a program on Netflix that I caught my wife watching a few months ago, and basically, like, couples or very close friends select tattoos for the other, but you don't see it until it's done.
Yeah,
and
I've seen this.
This guy, I didn't get the whole story, so I'm not quite sure what the justification was. But anyway, his girlfriend ended up getting a toilet tattooed on her. She was absolutely devastated.
I can't remember the name of that show. It was
Inked or something like that, or no?
It was Charlotte Crosby that used to present it.
Yeah.
And it was on MTV. I remember watching quite a few episodes of it because it was just fucking car crash TV. It was called Just Tattoo of Us. It was, MTV UK. Yeah, British couples would get tattoos. It fucking ran for 42 episodes. And, I mean, that's a lot of shite tattoos that people will get. But I've seen a few, but I did see that toilet clip surface recently. But it's just mental. Like, as much as I fucking love you and a mutual friend, I would never fucking go on a show like that with you. I fucking tattoo. It's fine.
I fucking agonize like selecting a birthday or Christmas gift for you. So like, you know what I mean? So I don't think I would be up to the fucking. I don't think I would even want to be considered for the challenge of picking a tattoo for you that's going to get done on you that you're not going to see until it's done. You know what I mean?
I mean, the whole point of that show is it's something bad. So, we're not going to pick, or isn't it? Or
no, the one that I saw on Netflix, it was supposed to be symbolic. Do you know what I mean? So if it was like you and your wife or girlfriend, for example, then it was sort of proof of how well you knew the person and what they liked and what was important to them. Or if it was like a really close friend, there was like a couple of girls went on who were like BFFs. And got tattoos for each other. But yeah, no, it was American. It wasn't British, that one I saw. But yeah.
I bet they're a bit nicer, the Americans.
Well, they didn't always get it right. I mean, this woman, she said everything that she didn't like, and her friend managed to fucking basically get her a tattoo of all the things that she said she didn't like. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I've Googled it. I'm seeing some of the ones that came up on that show. There was a couple. I don't know if it was a couple, but someone had got a. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to go down that road. But let's just say, yeah, there was a feminine hygiene product. At someone's. That was the one I remember. It was they used the belly button for. There's one there of a woman squatting having a shit on that got tattooed on someone's back.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, fuck that. That's mental. Yeah, I would never do that. But never mind. So this man has got Scott McTominay tattooed permanently on his arm, and he'll always cherish and remember that goal and leading us to the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to forget that goal in a long, 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 long time.
No, definitely not. Well, right. Well, World Cup special coming up next year, folks. Yeah. All right, Greg. Have you seen anything else this week?
Nope, that's all.
Wonderful. Right. Well, before we go on to what we're going to be talking about today, let's have a little word from our sponsors.
Hello! I'm the traditional coach driver on a Christmas card. And this highly traditional coach has just been to Tesco, where there are amazing quality all-butter Christmas cakes, Christmas pudding steeped in Drambuie, even this continental fruit loaf called Stollen. Oh, somebody's stolen this one. Ah! Of course, Tesco's the place to buy all your traditional toys, like this delightful Pudsey Bear and Masters of the Universe. Fright Zone. Drink, you say? Tesco have over 100 wines, all at under £2.50 a bottle. From traditional wine-growing countries like Germany, Italy, France, Spain, Bulgaria. So, for really traditional quality this Christmas, take a coach to Tesco. Just tell them a little bird sent you. Little bird.
Tesco. Higher standards, lower prices.
Okay then, Craig. So, I was going to say it was your choice. We kind of decided together, Christmas, New Year, we often do that. But why don't you tell us what we're going to be talking about on the podcast today?
Well, this is the perpetual challenge of finding a Scottish Christmassy thing. So, we found one from 2020 called Lost at Christmas. It stars Kenny Boyle and Natalie Clark and Sylvester McCoy, Sanjeev Kohli, Grogers, otherwise known as Clare Grogan, Frazer Hines, Caitlin Blackwood, who Doctor Who fans will know as the young Karen Gillan, or Amy Pond, and the lovely Nicolette McCowan, who's not in it anywhere near enough. And it tells a story of Rob and Jen, two strangers, unlucky in love, to put it mildly, who end up stuck in Fort William at Christmas and they're trying to get back to Glasgow. And in doing so, end up in what I thought was going to be kind of purgatory, which they made a better film, you know. They think they're just at a hotel with a load of unusual people, but they're actually in purgatory because they crashed the car on the road and died, but unfortunately that's not what happens. So yeah, I mean it'll come as no surprise that I hadn't seen this film before. Not likely to see it again, but you watched it twice.
I did, Craig. I did say when we recorded the last episode that what are you going to do tonight? And I said, I'm going to go and watch Lost at Christmas with my girlfriend. So we did. And then I had to watch it again to make my notes because I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing the first time. Okay, so it's a Christmas rom-com set in the Highlands. I'm kind of lost for words at this as well. It was based on a short film from 2014 called Perfect Strangers, and this film was originally called Perfect Strangers. And the short film's around 25 minutes long. That seems like a decent length.
You should have watched that one.
Oh, yeah, maybe you should have actually. And all that it needed to be. And it was kind of it's basically the same story, but in 25 minutes. You do have Kenny Boyle plays Rob. He is in the original, but the character of Jen is played by Claire Sheeran in that, but she didn't reprise a role. She hasn't acted since. So it went to Natalie Clark in this. Now, I thought, you know what? I'm not a big fan of Christmas films. I'm not a big fan of romantic comedies, but I thought, you know what, it's Scottish and it's got Grogan in it, it's got Sanjeev Kohli, it's got Sylvester McCoy. You know, it's going to be okay. Surely it's not going to be that bad. I realised quite quickly how wrong I was. I did laugh once in the first 5 minutes and I thought, you know what, it's got a laugh out of me already. This could be good. I don't think I laughed again.
What did you laugh at?
I laughed at the Glühwein seller.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing the German accent, and then the guy Rob goes away, and then he's just a thick Glasgow accent, you know, like, all right, hen, what can I get for you? And like, how did you end up in Fort William? But it was, that was what I laughed at. I think I did laugh later on, but that was in the second viewing, and I was laughing at myself at something I'd written down. An observation. It's look, I've thought a little bit over my hatred of Christmas over the years. I'm up for a miserable Christmas film, but this wasn't quite hitting the mark. I mean, it's a lot, isn't it?
You know, I've been thinking about. I didn't watch this until yesterday, right? And I watched it like late afternoon yesterday before I went out to the Christmas party. And it's been in my mind a lot. And I was thinking to myself, because when I was watching it, I was thinking, oh, come on. I mean, because it's kind of cliche after cliche after cliche. But I kind of got the feeling that the cast all had a nice time when they were making it. You know what I mean? And I think that does come through a wee bit, especially the kind of ensemble scenes with like McCoy and Hines and Kohli and Grogan and all those guys. You know, it does feel like, you know, these guys are having a good time. The script is not great, to be honest, and the way he ends it is really weird. It's got a really weird ending. You know what I mean?
I quite like the ending.
It sort of well, the thing is, I mean, it kind of goes from the film starts and it's sort of light comedy. You know, like Jen's scarf blows away and she's dressed like an elf and all this sort of stuff, and then the comedy kind of continues to the doorstep when she's talking to the wee boy who thinks she's an elf, and then she realises that she's been fucked about for years by this guy who's got a secret family. I'm like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be like a comedy, you know. And then there's that great scene with that you just mentioned with the mulled wine cellar and Rob and all that. That's quite funny. And then he's turned down when he goes to, you know what I mean? He's fucking devastated. I'm just like, you know, like, I know that romantic comedies will have these kind of jarring moments, but the way that it's portrayed here, it sort of it sails quite close to the choppy seas of drama, you know, like hard drama before coming back to the sort of comfortable beach of light comedy again. You know, you've
just explained really how the two leads come to be together. So, as you say, you have Jen. She's arrived in Fort William. She buys a scarf from a tourist shop. Now, 20 quid. And she says, that's a bit much. Oh, well, I do like it. 20 quid for a scarf from a tourist shop. What the fuck are you expecting?
Yeah, this is the 21st century. You know?
It's literally called like House of Scotland or something.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you expecting to buy for 20 quid from that shop? It's just nonsense. Probably the worst CGI I've ever seen with
the scarf flying away.
The scarf flying away, hitting Rob. It's fucking terrible. So she goes round to her boyfriend's house. They've been together for 5 years, and in that 5 years, she only ever visits his holiday home in Fort William. Would that not ring slight alarm bells? If you've been seeing someone for 5 years, and she even says we talked about getting married.
Yeah.
You only see him at his holiday home in Fort William. Now, where's he based? Like, is he meant to be based in Glasgow? Like, because that's a bit of a thing. How's he getting away all that time from his wife and kid?
And how the fuck is he affording a holiday home when he's apparently just a jobbing musician?
Oh, yeah, and he's got that fancy sports car.
Exactly.
And his wife's got a Mini in the driveway. And yeah, the house looks decent enough. And that's his holiday home. It's not like a fucking Button Ben like the Bruins.
No,
it's
a
fucking smart as fuck house. But apparently he's able to afford that. Just being, as you say, a jobbing musician. But things got in the way. Bizarre. Instantly, the character of Jen kind of pissed me off a little bit because she's all cheery and Christmassy. And we don't like that. Then she's in a taxi, doing her makeup, adjusting her tits, and gives the driver oh, no, look, when he's like trying to get an eyeful in the rear view mirror. Yeah. What was the need for that? Then she tries to pay him in gold fucking coins, chocolate coins for a laugh. Have you ever tried to pay for a taxi with chocolate coins? Guarantee it won't end well.
I mean, taxi drivers are not known for their sense of humour. You know what I mean?
No, especially fucking Christmas Eve, and he's having to drive her, and it's like, oh God, what a pain in the arse. But yeah, things obviously don't go well for her. But she does manage to punch Mike in the face and leave him to deal with the fallout of his wife and kid.
Yeah.
Slightly better, you're thinking, Rob. Okay, is he an all right guy? Seems a bit odd. But he's with his girlfriend, and you're right, he proposes and gets turned down. Now, he proposed to her 3 years ago and got turned down. If you're doing that and you decide to propose again, maybe don't do it in a public place, because you've been turned down once already, you think you know.
And also, Nikki looks like she's about 19.
I have here, so Rob and Nikki are school sweethearts. It's like, was he her teacher?
Yes.
he's about 40 and she's about 19. But he does say they were head boy and head girl. And you're like, at the same year? Because there's no way that the lovely Nikki is the same age as Rob.
No,
I mean,
definitely.
is that why he's wearing all that Aunt Sally makeup? To try and look younger? Because whoever the makeup artist is in this film, I hope they never worked again. Because there is some shocking makeup in this film.
There is a bit. I think it's when we see him the next morning, when he's spent the night in the bar, and he's got far too much rouge when he's cooping. I was like, well, I mean. Just trying to like make him look sort of flushed because he's been tanning drams with Sylvester McCoy and Frazer Hines all night, you know.
They end up meeting up at this Fort William train station, but there's no trains because of the snow. I mean, it looks pretty clear to me, but apparently there's too much snow. So they have to, but they're both trying to get to Glasgow. And there is a wonderful bit. This is where I wonder, and I'll come back, but I did think at one point, is this meant to be a piss take? Because he does say about, any more cliches, but the whole film's a cliche, as you've said.
Let's team up.
I beg your pardon?
Look, we are both going the same place, so surely if we pull our resources, we can get home. Come on. No, we're not to be alone at Christmas.
And say we do. But I have to listen to more cliches like that.
Without a doubt. 'Tis the season. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Christmas nut. Just wait till you get to know me.
It definitely is. I mean, the thing is, like, as the film went on, I sort of warmed to Jen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, like at first it was a bit much, and she's a bit insensitive and all this kind of thing. You know, especially, and that, you know, like Clare Grogan. I mean, she must have needed the money, right? Because you know, she sort of turns up 50 minutes in, does not play the kind of warm, cuddly type of character that we would associate with Grogers, right?
No.
She's a lesbian whose wife has been killed in a car crash. You know what I mean? It's like everybody who hates Christmas goes to this fucking hotel where, you know, and they don't do Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go there next Christmas, Nicky.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Sounds
it's
great.
Really, it's weird. You've got Sylvester McCoy goes there because his wife has been dead for 6 years. So he goes with his pal Frank, they've been best mates for 60 years, so they always get together at Christmas. Then you've got you've got the single mum from England and her son, and then you've got young Amy Pond and her dad, and they've got their own backstory, like about how, you know, how his daughter, no one breaks your heart like your daughter, and blah blah blah, and you know, she's always at her mother's for Christmas, and you know, and it's just like there's too much backstory for everybody here. We don't need to know why these guys are here. You know, they're not big fans of Christmas. That's enough. You know? Yeah.
But do you, because I mean, it's just explaining you don't like Christmas. You need to have the backstory for everyone as to why they don't. Why Jen's able, well, it's Rob really, is able to turn them around into loving Christmas and celebrating and cooking turkeys and all this jazz. It's you do make a good point about Grogan, because I did wonder that. Like, why is she doing this? Like, she can't need the money or anything, because it's such a strange role. This is what I laughed at when I was watching it the second time, because I paid attention to it. So you do see her sitting in the bar, but then the first time you're properly introduced to her is when Jen and the teenage girl, young Amy Pond, are in the toilet doing the makeup.
Yeah.
Now, Grogan comes sauntering out a trap too. She's been in there for a while, so was Grogan having a shite? In the toilet.
Maybe.
She comes out, fair play, washes her hands, and the next time you see her, she's sat at the bar with a massive gin, 20 fags and a Zippo on the bar. Yeah. You're like, I'm sitting with Grogan and having a chat with her. Definitely. And interesting choice in that she's wearing glasses, like, throughout the whole time she's being miserable. But when she thaws at the end and cooks Christmas dinner for everyone, she's not wearing her glasses. So does that mean glasses Grogan is bad, but no glasses Grogan is good?
Do you think it's
because
like,
there was a distinct...
I think it's like Superman 3 when you think Glasses Grogan and No Glasses Grogan have had this epic fight out the back of the hotel in the snow.
Exactly what I'm thinking. And No Glasses Grogan is one. And she's come in, cooked the turkey, she's made, Christmas dinner for everyone, celebrations. She's going to go off and bang Sanjeev Kohli's character Sid, because he's the only one left. I think everyone else is paired off.
So Ernie and Frank have paired off.
Yeah.
Back to one of the rooms.
I did wonder that, though, because it's not quite clear, because you see them and they're sitting drinking whiskey and having a laugh and stuff, and then when one of them, I think it's Ernie, mentions about his wife passing away, my girlfriend was like, oh, I thought they were gay, because it's kind of that way. You do think that, but obviously they're not.
Just two old pals.
It's just two old pals. But yeah, the introductions of the characters are strange. It's the same with Sanjeev Kohli's character of Sid. Like, it's out of place in the film. Like, it's basically his first line is, come in, don't be shy, your mother wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he says, £20 says he gets his hole before midnight.
20 quid says he gets his hole before midnight.
Whoa, I'll take that bet.
30 quid, did you say?
20.
20, all right. QUI did.
You still owe me 50 quid.
This, to me, just screamed. They might have put up on screen in text, like, hey everyone, look, we've got Naveed from Still Game in this film.
Yeah.
Like, don't be shy, your mother wasn't it? Oh, that's such a thing Naveed would say, isn't it? That's a Naveed thing. Look, we've got Naveed. He doesn't have the beard or the hair, but it's Naveed. Look, he's going to say Naveed things now. And it just screamed of that to me, which I was like, oh, come on, it's Sanjeev Kohli. We don't need to do that. Yeah. But I guess that's what most people will know him for. So maybe it is.
Everybody will know him for.
Yeah.
Because I remember he did that sitcom with, it was about sort of Asian guys in Glasgow. That guy, he wears a turban and he's just got himself in some hot water for sexual assault this week. I can't remember his name.
I want to say, is it Hardeep Singh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was another guy. I remember watching an episode or two of it. It was on Channel 4 and I think it was quite funny. They were quite good together, the three of them. But yeah, I mean, and but it's really going to be like an Asian hotel owner in the Highlands. Not sure. It's like not the most diverse of communities up there, really.
Anyway, the way they end up at this hotel is they've got no transport, so they call a taxi and they just get laughed at because they try to get a taxi to Glasgow. Now, she does say something about this will cost a fortune. She's like, it's Christmas Eve, I'm sure we can haggle. You ever tried to get a fucking taxi on Christmas Eve?
I know, it's like 4 times more expensive.
I don't think you can haggle. That's not how it works, love. Anyway, they decide to steal the car of her now ex-boyfriend. But why does she take the fucking sports car? I don't know. Is it meant to be a Jag or is it? It is. I forgot to look up the brand name of the car.
It says Marco in the back. I think they've had. It looks like an old F-type Jag or something.
Yeah, that's instantly. I thought it's a Jag. There's a fucking Mini Cooper sat in the driveway. Why don't they take that?
I think because she found the key for the key. But I mean, it had to be how nobody heard the fucking noisiest car in the Highlands pulling out of the drive. You know what I mean?
And like instantly you're going to report that stolen. The police are going to know when they eventually stop at the police. Anyway, they continue driving. And I did think that like the weather in this film's all over the place because they're saying like, oh, the roads are getting bad and stuff. And there's these big sweeping shots. The roads are clear. The roads are completely clear, but yet they get stuck. And it looks like they've gone off road when they get stuck of where they are. They're not on the fucking road anymore.
Definitely gone off road.
Yeah. End up trekking towards this hotel. And that's how they end up at this hotel full of misfits who hate Christmas.
Yeah. It's there's so many weird elements. So Nikki has bought Kenny this really thoughtful gift because I guess he likes compasses. She doesn't want him to get lost and all this kind of thing. But she doesn't fancy him anymore. She's not in love with him anymore. You know what I mean?
Not in love with him.
Yeah.
She loves him. She's not in love with him.
Yeah, which basically means she doesn't fancy him anymore. That's just another way of saying it. And then, so there's a band that come and play at the hotel who obviously do the songs. There's a song that plays at the beginning of the film. Now, the first line of the song is, have you noticed this? It's Christmas, And all your heroes are dead.
I did not notice that. Wow.
It's the first line of the song that plays. I think it's when Jen is kind of going around the town centre and getting a taxi and this kind of thing. It's Christmas and all your heroes are dead. Merry Christmas.
I'm right in the mood for a romantic comedy in the Highlands now. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm well up for it. So that's weird. And then, obviously, Jen and Rob overcome their sort of odd couple differences, and she has to go. She feels bad because of, she's been a bit out of order with Groger's, a bit insensitive with Groger's recently widowed. So she goes for a walk in the woods, and Rob finds out, oh no, got to go and see if she's all right.
Yeah.
Goes and finds her. They have a moment, and then they have the most awkward kiss where Jen looks like her face looks like it's the face of somebody who's being kissed against their will. What I mean? Eyes screwed up really tight, lips like, thin and pursed. I was just like, you feel like there's maybe like a pretty decent film here with a better script. You know what I mean? Like a bit more cohesion.
There's too many things that don't make sense. You're right in terms of you're right about the kiss. It's the most awkward kiss. Like it's like he's kissing his auntie as well. Like it looks, and you're right. She looks like it's the most horrific thing, and she's against her will. Now, they end up at the hotel. They make it very clear Rob's not interested at all because he's being a complete fanny about these sleeping arrangements.
Yeah. Because
there's only one room left. And he's like, I'll skip down at reception because it's a double. Well, and she's like, it's fine. We'll top and tail. We'll do something.
Yeah.
Like, fuck up. Just get in the fucking bed. Like, you don't have to do anything, but just don't be a dick about this because he is. He's been a total fanny about it.
I mean, you would just make the best of it, right?
Of course you would. And then he's like, I'll sleep in the chair. Then Jen goes and showers, and when she comes out, Rob is like, it's like he's trying to look at anything but her in a towel. Like, it's like, for fuck off, man. Just, she's an attractive female. You're going to just have a look. It's fine. Nothing's going to happen. But what gets it for me is they go down to the bar, they're having a drink, and they're speaking about, because Jen's got her guitar with her. And she says about, we'll come back to that, don't you worry. She says about how, music and stuff. And he says, I'd love to hear you play sometime. No man has ever said that to a woman unless he's trying to fire into her. No man, ever. Ever. No one wants to hear you play your fucking guitar. No one. Unless you're trying to get something. So it's obvious that he wants to. Then, a couple of minutes later, when the band start playing a Christmas song, Jen wants to get up and dance. He's, of course I'll dance. No man has ever said that unless he's trying to fire into you. So it's the prosecution rests. Rob actively wants Jen because he's doing these things, but then he sleeps in the bar. Why?
Because
they're about
Nicky
to have this kiss.
But Nicky calls.
Oh yeah,
they do have a wee kiss, don't they? And then her face pops up on his phone, and he's all confused. Oh no! And his heartbreak comes back.
Well, no, they're about to kiss on the dance floor, but then he sees Nicky's face in Jen's face.
Oh yeah.
So then add this to the list of things that don't make sense. He does say a few minutes before that, when they're trying to get to the hotel, he says something like, what a time to give up smoking. So when he runs off, then we see him outside and he's trying to light a fag. This man has never smoked in his life. Never smoked in his life. It's the worst smoking I've ever seen on screen. And he's like, it's disgusting. And he's the fusty fag police. Right, so it's been in a vending machine in this hotel. Fuck off. Like, I don't care. That vending machine's not going to still be there. The tobacco company will have taken it back. They know it's there. But where did he get the coins to buy the fags? The machine's not going to be plugged in. Nevertheless, he has a cigarette. But it's disgusting. You get the impression he's only stopped smoking very recently. That fag is going to taste like fucking nectar to him. Yeah. Right? It's been a very long time since I've smoked a cigarette. Probably the same for yourself.
Yeah.
If we have a cigarette now, it is going to taste disgusting, but also you're going to be kind of enjoying it. But he's like, it's the worst thing ever. But the way he's smoking it, That man has never smoked a cigarette in his life.
Smoking is so weird, isn't it? Like, this tastes absolutely rank, and I love it so much. It's a weird habit.
It reminds me of the girls you would see at school, like 15, pretending to smoke because it was hard, and not like,
taking little shallow draws.
Yeah, but it was the worst, and funnily enough, it's not the worst thing about the film, but his smoking is so bad. But I just couldn't understand him being so against even sharing a bed, but yeah, he's happy to hear her play the guitar and dance.
And also, right, let's have it right. Jen is an attractive woman.
Yes.
Attractive woman, right? If you're a single guy, even if you're only been single for a few hours, if an attractive woman says, look, let's be honest. If a woman says, come on, we're both adults, we can share a bed, it's not going to take any persuasion whatsoever. You know what I mean? I'd have the duvet up to my chin before she'd finished the sentence. You know what I mean? Clothes neatly folded, duvet up to my chin. That's the game. Thanks very much.
It's okay. We'll stick to our sides. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cold. Maybe we should cuddle to warm up a bit.
We should lie a bit closer to each other just to be a bit, just until we warm up a bit.
When they're outside and he's pretending to smoke is when he delivers his Oscar speech. This is what he was anticipating they would show at the Academy Awards.
Hey, everything will be fine. It's Christmas.
Could you stop that, please?
What?
All of that childish Christmas will make everything better stuff. It won't. It's not some magical event where all the wrongs are righted. Roll up for one day only. The shit doesn't stick. You can't just put a pin in feelings and leave them till Boxing Day, because it's not how feelings work.
About Christmas and how it's rubbish and how Santa is an arsehole because he doesn't care about hunger and war, right? And that's his thing, and off Jen storms and stuff. Then cuts the next morning, he slept at the bar. Why did he sleep at the bar? There's all the benches and stuff. If he's wanting to make a sort of protest and not sleep in the room, why did he sleep on one of the booths rather than sleeping on the fucking bar?
I thought he'd been in the drams at the bar with the old boys.
Well, he's sitting himself. Oh, do you think he's just fallen asleep pished?
Oh, maybe.
But
Yeah.
Jen comes down and, okay, they're stuck there for the day. But she wants to make the best of Christmas. No one else is really that keen. And then she has a go at Grogan. Grogan basically tells her, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And Jen goes off upset. Then Rob has a go at everyone in the bar. Now, he hasn't said a word through all this. The last thing he has said to her is about how Christmas is shite the night before. He has a go at the entire bar, basically telling them that they've ruined her Christmas. I'd be like, piss off, mate. Like, he says shame on you. Shame on us.
Yeah.
Shame on us. Just because you can't control your fucking brass and she's upset about Christmas.
Brass.
Why are you having a go at us? Why are you having a go at us? Like, this is fuck all to do with us. We've come here to escape. You've just heard Naveed say that we escape for Christmas, and it is Naveed. Look, we've got Naveed from Still Game, everyone. Yeah. We've come here to escape. We don't want this shite. We come here every year. You two, no. Fuck off. This has nothing to do with me. I want my sullen skank. Wait till we'll come back to that, because I don't understand that joke at all. And yeah, fuck off. No, piss off. So why are you having a go at me? But yet, when they come back, the place is all decorated. Grogan's cooked a turkey, which has come out of nowhere.
And I tell you something, I would not be fucking trying that turkey. It'd be fucking salmonella for Christmas. A turkey was never cooked quicker. You know what I mean? You see the size of it. It was like the same size as the fucking mini that they never stole. And she's supposed to believe that Grogan's whipped up. Like, do you see like the portions in the fucking bowls of like Brussels sprouts and carrots?
Yeah.
They're fucking 3 kilos in each fucking bowl. I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck is she throwing all that together? When last night they'd ran out of food. You know what I mean? Oh, we haven't got any steak pie. Oh, we haven't got any fish and chips. Finished. We've only got curry and skink. You know, now we've got fucking evidently a full Christmas offer.
I can only think it's because she took her glasses off.
Oh, right.
And that somehow has made it. I don't know. You're right, there's no food. Now, I didn't know if that was just because the chef had walked out, so Naveed, I'll stop calling him Naveed, Sid, wasn't able, he couldn't cook. So that's why, and all he could do was Cullen skink. Now, the Cullen skink with no fish, and Jen says, so we're having sullen skank. Then later on, she also repeats sullen skank. Can you explain that joke to me? Because I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, a skank is usually a derogatory term for like a bit of a loose woman, right?
I just didn't understand. Because, Cullen skink hasn't touched fish. Oh, so we're having sullen skank. And then it's obviously meant to be hilarious because she repeats it again. But it went over my head.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's a shit joke, mate. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I don't know where all the food came from. Maybe Groger's has gone and tanned the Ghost of Christmas Present's bedroom or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then when she gets up with a guitar, I mean, the thing is, right? She gives a wee speech to say, listen, thanks everybody, I really appreciate it. It's one of the best Christmases I've ever had. You guys have really made it happen. In return, I'm going to sing and play for you. I'd be like, no, it's fine. The pleasure's yours. You sit, have another glass of wine there. You don't have to give us anything. Because if she got up and started singing, and fair enough, right? I don't think that was Natalie Clark playing, and I don't think that was her singing either, if I'm quite honest.
We don't see her hands.
Well, she kind of makes a G chord at the beginning before she starts playing, and then, anyway. I mean, I would have had to, I'd have gone and sat in the toilet until I was sure she was finished. I'd have been absolutely I'd be squirming if I was getting if she was singing to me.
No, would you not have sang along to her song, which sounds remarkably like No Surprises by Radiohead, which is not a Christmas song. The chorus sounds exactly the same.
Well, do you know, I skipped through it, the song. I listened to the first 30 seconds, and then I did the plus 10 seconds a couple of times till it was finished.
Right, we'll be having a production meeting about this, because I had to sit through that fucking song twice. I'm not happy about that. Now, when she gets up to sing, and she gives her speech about great Christmas, best Christmas ever, meeting people that care, I got Rocky IV vibes.
Yeah.
If I could change, you could change, maybe we could all change. That's what I got. And I was like, yes, come on. But no, then she sings a song, which, yeah.
What were you thinking? Were you thinking that her and Grogers would take their jumpers off and have a fight?
Yes, I did.
A bare knuckle fight in the dining room.
I did, yes. That's what I was looking for. That would be great. Now, that would have been a good ending. Instead, we get the kiss, and this is where I thought, this whole film's a piss take, because we have the strangest sex scene I think I've ever seen, in that they are in bed in their underwear, but they're kind of laughing and then drinking whiskey, and then they're sitting there in her bra and his pants.
And she doesn't look very happy quite a lot of the time.
No, they look like they're having a bit of an upset, and then they're cuddling, and then he goes to take her bra off. And I'm like, has all this prior, you've been in bed and doing all this, you haven't actually had sex yet, and now you're about to, but it's the strangest thing. I genuinely thought maybe it was a parody, and it was like the sex scene, well, not the sex scene in Team America World Police, because that's quite graphic, but
and hilarious.
with the blue light, it gave me Top Gun vibes, but very much not. And I genuinely wondered if this whole film was a piss take and a pastiche of something. I mean, because it's just bizarre.
Even Kenny Boyle in his boxer briefs, spooning in.
maybe.
On top of the covers. I mean, I think if I was going to rewrite this film, right, what would happen is it would run pretty much the same up until they steal the car, right?
Yeah.
They would end up in the hotel. All the same people would be there. Mm-hmm. Jen would be on this agenda to try and cheer up Kenny and get him Christmassy and everybody else Christmassy and all that. Then it turns out that they're in purgatory. Everybody's dead. Oh no, Rob figures out, oh, well, it must be in purgatory. He has a bit of a flashback to the car crashing and all that kind of thing. And the bar is purgatory. And Naveed is like St. Peter or whoever decides how long you stay in purgatory. I don't know. I've not read the Bible for ever. So, I've read wee bits of it. And then the sting in the tail, when Jen gets up to sing, he realises he's not in purgatory. When she gets on the stage and starts singing, he realises that he's actually in hell. Jen's the devil. He has another flashback where when Nikki rejects him, he stoves her head in and goes in the run to the train station. He's kind of blocked it all out until that moment. And the last scene is just Jen laughing maniacally as like the flames start lapping up the tartan carpet in the pub. It's actually not a Christmas film at all.
I'd much rather watch that version. That version sounds fucking great. It really does.
And obviously there'd be a part for Cosmo in it. You know, so.
Of course, yeah. Cosmo has to be in it. Yeah, why Cosmo? Well, Cosmo probably turned this down. It takes a lot to have a film set in Scotland and to be filmed in Fort William and Glencoe. And to have sweeping drone shots that look fucking terrible. Like, this looked odd. It just didn't look right. Yeah, I thought it looked like, I've never seen Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, but it looked like Middle-earth or something, and when they're trekking through, and it just looked fake in some way. Like, I couldn't describe it. It just didn't look right to me. I couldn't work out what that was.
Well, obviously all Scottish mountains have snow on top of them, Nicky. But
Of course, yeah.
Jen makes that point quite clearly. Yeah. I don't know. I actually thought it looked okay. I watched it on my telly, and I rented it from Apple, so it was like a decent stream. So I couldn't find it anywhere else, and so I guess it's like in some level of high definition. I thought it looked alright. I mean, I suppose it could have been a bit more dramatic, but maybe there wasn't enough snow for the wider shots, and it was important to the plot. Obviously, not that important because they did show some fairly passable roads, but it was important to the plot that there was a lot of snow. But the thing is, right, if you're setting something in Glencoe, then you need to put a fucking shot of Glencoe in there. Because Glencoe has got one of the most dramatic, amazing vistas in the fucking world. You have to put a shot of Glencoe in there. I don't understand why they never did that. I mean, they filmed on location in Fort William fucking High Street. So why not? Yeah. Why not give the American or the international audience a lovely shot of Glencoe? You know, don't get it.
Just one of the many things that don't make sense in this film. They were obviously trying to cater to an American audience because at one point Rob mentions about committing Grand Theft Auto, which, other than playing the game, I don't think I've ever said Grand Theft Auto in a sense of stealing a car. Seems a bit strange. And then after that, when he's talking about potentially going to prison, that he'll be cuddling up with Big Bobo, his cellmate.
Big Bobo Baldy, the Asian murderer that killed Chris MacDonald in 2003. who's often mentioned on Here Comes the Guillotine for some reason.
I did to him. Big Bobo. That's like, what? Is Bobo the first name that comes into your head? I guess. I don't know. But Big Bobo, your cellmate, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, at least it'll keep him warm.
Yeah, at least he'd be warm, I guess. You're right enough.
I said we should turn back. We were warned. But did you listen? Did you? Hell, and now here we are, freezing to death in the middle of nowhere. Hey, at least I don't have to worry about going to prison for Grand Theft Auto. But it's a shame in the way because Big Bobo, my cellmate, could have kept me warm.
We haven't really spoken about probably the best part of the film is Sylvester McCoy and Frazer Hines as the two old men. I mean, we touched upon them, but they are great in terms of a bit of comic relief, two genuine actors, and they're having a laugh. And I did watch a little kind of behind the scenes short on YouTube. Yes, I watched more than just the film. And you could tell they were having a good laugh and just getting, like, enjoying themselves. Frazer Hines said, I was going to do a normal Scottish accent. And then Sylvester says, so why don't you do like an islands accent? Because it takes longer to say words. and you'll get more screen time. And I was like, Sylvester, you know all the tricks, my boy. Do you really want more screen time in this film? But it showed, like, I think they had a good little laugh, I think, by the looks of things. And yeah, it must have been fun for them to do that. So
they have the Doctor Who connection, Frazer Hines, don't they? Because Frazer Hines was, obviously, Sylvester McCoy famously was the 7th actor to play Doctor Who the first time it was on, before they brought it back about 20 years ago. And Frazer Hines was on it back in the 1960s as one of the companions, where he plays a Scottish companion called Jamie, because Frazer Hines is actually from Yorkshire. He was in Emmerdale Farm for like 20 years.
He played Joe Sugden. That's how I know him.
One of the OG families. But he was sort of famous for playing Jamie in Doctor Who, a kind of Jacobean Highlander who knocks about with the Doctor for a few series. But I was reading about him, and his mum actually is Scottish, or was Scottish. Frazer Hines' mum, she came from Port Glasgow, so that's why he's able to do like a reasonably reasonable Scottish accent. Because obviously grown up with hearing it in the house, you know. But so I suppose there's that connection, and you know, they're sort of the kind of oldest guys on the set and all that, right? Sort of the old established time served actors there. I imagine there's probably quite quickly. I mean, they probably know each other from like the sci-fi convention circuit. And everything, you know what I mean? The conventions and stuff that our friend goes to with his Star Wars club. So they probably know each other really well, I'd have thought. You know, so it's probably quite nice for them to do a wee movie together where it's all in one location. They don't have to go anywhere. They're just in the pub, basically. Sit around and shoot the shit between scenes and act pissed. And very nice. And apparently they shot this film in 12 days, I was reading. So, you know, it's not even like it's a long shoot either. It's just like a couple of weeks away, you know. They probably stayed in the hotel that they're filming in.
Yeah, I think probably did. And I wonder if there was a free supply of whiskey as well to keep flowing to let them enjoy their time there. So after the most awkward sex scene we've ever seen, Rob and Jen, it basically cuts. They've been snowed in this hotel for 2 days because it takes place over Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Now, cuts to the next day and they're on a bus going to Glasgow and there's no snow at all. Now, that's not how it works in terms of in Scotland. It's going to be at least a little bit of snow kicking around. If it's that deep that the roads are blocked, there's going to be snow for a few days. It doesn't just vanish like that. But hey, what the hell? We'll go with that. Now, I guess we'll debate the ending because you said it was very weird. And I actually quite liked it. So they have a quick Christmas pump and then they basically go their separate ways. They get back to Glasgow. There's no exchange of numbers. There's, you know, they kind of flirting with it and then no, they decide to just leave it and go and sort themselves out. And they turn around and then they pause and you think, oh, don't. And then they walk away and that's it. Now, I was waiting for them to turn around and kiss and live happily ever after, but they don't. It's brilliant. It's just two people that have been hurt and they've just fucking used each other, used their bodies to feel a little bit better about themselves and then move on with their lives. Fucking magic.
See, they could have just ended it with everybody saying cheers over the table at Christmas.
Because you don't want Jen's song.
Well, I definitely don't want fucking Jen's song, but I didn't need this weird, like, unerotic sex scene. And I'm not saying that I didn't need it because I'm not saying that I wanted something that was a lot more graphic. That's not what I'm saying here, right? But it just sort of wasn't needed. They could just have been, well, everybody, you know, it looks like Rob and Jen might be getting together. Everybody's rediscovered the Christmas spirit. Groger's has got a new job. Sid's got a new chef. Merry Christmas, everybody. Roll the credit. You know what I mean? Because they hold hands on the bus all the way back to Glasgow, presumably. They walk to a church together and then go their separate ways. Why not just like say cheerio at the fucking bus station, Buchanan Street? You know, why walk all the way to the church? And I'll tell you something, that church is not in Glasgow city centre. Because I would recognise that it's either in the south side or it's in the West End. One of the two. Probably, it might be, it's definitely not in Glasgow city centre, so we just walked for fucking like 2 hours just to say cheerio and not make plans to reconnect again.
You know, you're right. That would have been a better ending, actually. Like, leave on a high, everyone's cheery. Yay, Merry Christmas, everyone. And yeah, you're right. That would have been better. But no, we do get... mind you, I like the ending because it's miserable. So
yeah, okay. Nicky Scrooge here, Ebenezer Kemp.
Yeah. See, I always refute that. I'm not a Scrooge. I like buying presents for people. Fine. I'll keep your Christmas present. I've got you a fucking belter of a Christmas present that you're going to love, and we will talk about on the podcast. I know we will.
I'm sure we will.
But I'm not a Scrooge. I just don't like Christmas. And the reason being, because I've read a little review on Letterboxd, and it says, I thought this was going to be a fun Hallmark-esque movie set in Scotland, and it's about as fun as your nan dying on Christmas. I can say from experience, Greg, because my grandmother died on Christmas Day, and
of course,
this film was more fun than that, I'll tell you. And that's why I fucking hated Christmas for years. Anyway, never mind. I'm not going to bring this down. This is our Christmas episode. Yeah. But yeah, it should have been a little bit more cheery, needed to be a bit more festive. It was too long for the type of film. There's so much you could have cut out of this.
It was far, far, far too long. I mean, the thing is as well, as far as films go, like modern films, it's only an hour and a half, probably quite short, comparatively speaking, but it's so fucking slow. In part, you know, like a lot of the film is really, really slow. Like the sort of middle act when they're getting to know each other in the pub and, you know, we're introduced to their characters and all this stuff. And you're just like, oh, I mean, it's so slow. And then by the time they get to the third act, they sort of rattle through it and you're like, oh, okay, they'll be finishing soon. Then you look and it's still got another 20 minutes to go. But it feels like it's coming to a natural conclusion. It's like, no, it's not. We need to have a blue light sex scene where Jen looks quite sad for a lot of it. And then we need to have like a completely wordless bus journey and a really odd sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but you know, a weird ending where we're sort of left wondering, well, is that it, or are they going to reconnect in the future? Just could just ended it a good 20 minutes ago. Cheers, Merry Christmas, everybody. God blesses everyone. Roll credits.
Would you put this at the bottom? This is the 6th Christmas themed episode we've done. Would you put this at the bottom? The previous 5 have been Comfort and Joy, Anna and the Apocalypse, Rabsy Nesbitt's Seasonal Greet, The Bogeyman, and of course, The Cranky's Christmas Club.
Well, yeah, because like, those are it's definitely at the bottom. Because I mean, The Cranky's Christmas Club, fucking hell, that was something special.
It was fucking brilliant. I loved it. I'm still thinking about, was it the Flying Rollers?
The Flying Rollers, yep. You could see the girl's lunch when she was getting spun around there. And Jimmy Cranky referring to a tiny wee Chinese man and pulling the corners of his/her eyes up, which is something that you just would not see on children's television these days, or indeed adult television.
No, you wouldn't get the line "naughty little Chinaman." No, people. Definitely not anywhere this. And yeah, poor old Jiminy Cricket as well.
Naughty little Chinaman, for goodness sake.
No peeking. Yeah, it was something else. It really was. Okay, so good to know that this comes at the bottom of our list. Look, I feel bad for slating this because, you know something? Look, we haven't said anything against, it's more about the characters and the writing. Like, I think... Like, I'm trying to
I wasn't anything against the film. It's just the writing and the characters, really. You know,
like Kenny Boyle, who plays Rap, right? I think he is he's a theatre actor, and it shows. And I think as a theatre actor, I bet he's fucking great. Yeah. And he's worn his theatre makeup to do this film, and he's obviously playing one of the
ugly sisters.
That's thank you, one of the ugly sisters. I was going to say like Mother Goose or something. And he's done what he can with the script. Maybe watch some videos on how to smoke, but otherwise he's done a good enough job with what he's got. And I think Natalie Clark as Jen, she's good. Like, I think it's...
I liked her.
She's
I really warmed to her as it went on.
So I think it is the material that they have that they're working with. So yeah, it's obviously not the best. I mean, essentially it is just a film where Grogan turns up, tells everyone to fuck off and that Christmas is shit. Yeah. I've remembered the other time I laughed. I did laugh twice, and it was when Jen says to the teenage girl, when she dots her lips to apply makeup. Again, that's not how you apply makeup. But when she says, Chris and Clara, it's like Bodger and Badger. And I did laugh at Bodger and Badger, but more because I was thinking about Bodger and Badger, not up the line. So
yeah, I just think I don't want to be like sort of mean to them, because, like I said at the beginning, it does feel like everyone's having quite a nice time making this film. You know what I mean? Like that does come across. And I've said it a lot. Like, I think I must say it every time we review something that neither of us have particularly enjoyed. Like, it must be very, very difficult getting a film made. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And these guys have done it. And and the other thing is they've had 12 days to shoot it. So there maybe is an argument to say, well, if they'd had a bit more time, they might, it might have been a bit of a better film, because they might have sort of realised actually this doesn't work so well, or that, whatever. But it's a relatively low budget 12-day film. Probably the most expensive thing in the film is that weird scarf CGI, right? It's probably taking up most of the budget. And it's, well, fair enough. And there are some nice moments in it. There are some quite funny bits. The mulled wine guy is particularly funny, as you mentioned earlier on. And there's some good actors in this for sure. I just Kenny, I'm not so sure. I mean, he was in the Scott Squad, right? He played one of the detectives in Scott Squad. But I've not seen the episodes that he's in, so maybe I have to try and see them and see how he is in that. But he's not just an actor; he's a playwright as well, and a writer. I had to look at Natalie Clark's Instagram earlier on to see, because she's not done like a great deal. She's not got a Wikipedia page, but she's got an IMDb page. And unfortunately, she's been dealing with ovarian cancer. For the last few years, although she's in remission currently, and we wish her well and hope that hopefully that's how it stays in remission for her. But she seems like a really nice, like much like Jen, she seems like a nice woman. You know what I mean? She comes across well on her Instagram and stuff. So and it's always good to see Grogers playing against type. I think maybe there is a spin-off film there somewhere where she has to, like Scott Pilgrim, she's got to battle nega Grogers out the back of the hotel.
I'm sorry to hear that about Natalie Clark. I hope she's she makes a full recovery and she's okay. Look, it is what it is. It's a Christmas rom-com with little rom, even less com. This isn't what Jesus wanted for his birthday, Greg. But here we are. It's always full of disappointments, but this is, I'm glad I won't have to watch this again.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I did struggle with it. I looked at the time quite a lot.
It's never a good sign.
Yeah, how much more? And like, as I say, I did skip through much of the song that Jen sings to the hotel guests toward the end of the film. But look, I think there's definitely an audience for this film. Like, I could see my mother quite enjoying it. People who maybe don't have our sophisticated taste in entertainment and culture. I'm only joking. But I'm sure that a lot of people probably quite enjoy it.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are people that think it's a great film and that it's a lovely romantic comedy and it's just a perfect Christmas film. So
it's definitely a Christmas. It's definitely. I think the one thing that Ryan Hendrick definitely nails is it's definitely a Christmas film.
Yes,
you know what I mean. It's definitely like a Christmas film. And I could, and he's going for a. Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing that's a bit weird about the ending, because he's not going for a sort of warm feeling Christmas film, because the ending is so ambiguous, for the characters. Anyway.
That's
So if you want to watch Lost at Christmas, it is on Apple. I'm sure there are other ways to get it. It might even be on Netflix in your territory, perhaps, wherever you are in the world, or Amazon Prime. So by all means, give it a watch if you like this kind of thing. Shall we put Lost at Christmas through our Swally Awards?
Let's do it, Greg. I mean, what have we got first?
Well, as always, the Bobby the Barman Award for the best pub. I mean, that hotel bar, I could definitely kill a couple hours in there.
Yeah, it looked all right. It looked nice enough. Like,
yeah, shoot the
was
shit
nice.
with Ernie and Frank.
Yeah, get the fireplace going and have a couple of drams. Yeah, no, I like that. It was nice.
Yeah.
Nice pub.
Nice Scottish pub. Next one then is the Sainted Cosmo Award for being in everything Scottish. I can have to go with Grogan on this one. Although I do feel like, I felt like Alistair McCrone, who plays the young Amy Pond's dad, he's got a face who looks like he's been in a lot of stuff. And I looked at his IMDb and he's not really. He's got the obligatory Taggart in there and Take the High Road, actually. Maybe that's where I recognise him from, but he's not got a big. He's not got as many credits as Grogan. Did you have anybody else?
Sanjeev Kohli.
Yeah, that's a good shout,
although predominantly still game, but he has been in a lot of stuff, and he's pops up, Department Q, and he's, as you said, the early stuff he's been in, he does pop up in quite a lot of things.
Well, do you know what? I was looking at his filmography on Wikipedia. I've got it here. So that sitcom that we were trying to think about earlier was Meet the Magoons.
Okay.
And Hardeep Singh Kohli is his brother, which I'm sure he's probably not feeling great about at the minute. But anyway, He's obviously got Still Game. He's got the Peter Serafinowicz show that he was in, various characters, sketch show. He's done rap scene. He's played a lot of characters that are either shopkeepers or second name is Can, unfortunately. He's in Gary Tank Commander, Bob Servant, Filth, obviously, the IT Crowd. He was a regular in River City for 7 years, which I had no idea. He's in Stonehouse. We did in this very podcast a couple of years ago. And most recently, Department Q, which has done great business on Netflix over the summer. And having watched it myself, I can thoroughly recommend it. It's very, very good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I went with Sanjeev Kohli.
Yeah, that's a good
Grogan could be in with a shout as well. She's been in quite a lot of stuff, but
she's not quite as prolific in the Scottish stuff, though. If I look at her, she's got obviously Gregory's Girl, which was her big breakout, and Comfort and Joy. But then it's a lot of English stuff like Father Ted, Red Dwarf, EastEnders. She did EastEnders for a couple of years. She's done a Taggart. She did a Sea of Souls, which would be good to try and track down. So I think that's definitely Swally fodder. But yeah, she's obviously a lot of music with altered images, old Grogers. So not quite as prolific. So yeah, I think Kohli is definitely the better shout.
Right.
Next then is the Jake McQuillan Your Tease Out Award. Obviously there's one obvious choice here.
I went with Jen punching Mark. That's you could have went with McCoy putting the orange in the toilet, but we didn't see that.
Or Rob's heart breaking when she gets turned down by the lovely Nikki. Next then, and I didn't think I was going to be able to put anything in this category until the very, 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 very end, when we had the weird sex scene, but the Ewan McGregor Award for gratuitous nudity. Probably didn't need to see Kenny Boyle in his boxer briefs, if I'm being quite honest.
No, it was not something that I needed to see. And it was, but I'm glad I did, because it gave me a hell of a laugh with that, so yeah.
And next then, not a lot you could put to this one, because the language is fairly clean, but the Francis Begbie Award for gratuitous language, there's a few bastards, but...
Yeah, you mean illegitimate, Greg, you mean? Because that's a running joke. There's not a lot. I went with Grogan when she's ripping into Jen and she says about her faux Christmas cheer, and she just says, "You are full of shit." And I like that.
Next then, archetypal Scottish moment.
The prices in a tourist shop is went for 20 quid for a scarf. You're having a laugh. What did you go for?
I wrote that down. I also wrote down the phrase 20 quid he gets his hole by midnight. it's just something quite Scottish, but not about betting on whether a guy is going to be lucky in love with a young lady, but the phrase "he'll get his hole" is definitely only ever uttered in Scotland.
Yes, I did have to explain that to my girlfriend, what that meant.
Yes, I'm sure she was glad of your explanation. Sure.
Yes, yeah.
And then finally, then the Big Tam Award. Who wins Lost at Christmas for you?
We all did, Greg, because we got to see this wonderful film. So we all did. I gave it to McCoy and Hines as the double act.
Me too. I was going to say I don't feel like a winner. Gotta be honest. But yeah, those two. I like seeing them on screen. Together. The moments when they were good. You could do a whole spin-off with those two, I think. But I thought Natalie Clark put a good shift in this film. She's likeable. She's quite funny. The scene where she's sneaking around the house looking for the car keys and she runs into the wee boy in the cupboard. And again, I mean, that's another bit of like, this is where the wee boy goes to hide when his mum and dad are shouting at each other, which they do often. Yeah. I'm like, is that, supposed to be a light comedy here, guys?
Yeah, it is a dark film, really. You're right. Not the best, but no, you're right. Natalie Clark, she does deliver a good performance, so it's I can see that there is a case for her, but Hines and McCoy. Hines and McCoy. Yeah, Hines and McCoy for me.
Hines and McCoy. Anyway, that was Lost at Christmas. Watch it or don't. We could just watch Home Alone again. Or It's a Wonderful Life, if you want something a bit more serious.
Just watch Die Hard. It's much better.
Or Gremlins. Anyway, I chose... I kind of chose Lost at Christmas, which means it's your choice for our Hogmanay episode. So what are we watching next week?
Well, we did discuss this, Greg, in terms of what we're going to pick. And I thought we'd do something a little bit different for our New Year episode this year. Our New Year episode, or Hogmanay episode, actually comes out on Christmas Day, which is a bit bizarre, but I didn't want to fuck around with the schedule, so here we are. We're going back to 1987 for the next episode. And this is something that I really associate with Christmas and New Year because it was advertised on TV constantly that year. And it's something that I think every single one of my uncles got for Christmas. So we're going to London for the next episode to join definitely Scotland's most famous comedian, as we look at the 1987 Billy Connolly live show, Billy and Albert.
I actually got it for my Christmas in Christmas 2019 on DVD, so I'll be taking the wrapper off that 6 years later. I'm watching Billy and Albert.
Fantastic. I think it is available on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it ahead of the show. And of course, the album is available, on all streaming services. But great. You'll be able to watch the DVD, the iconic cover, which we will discuss on the next episode. Yeah. So there we go. New Year episode of The Swally, Billy and Albert. Well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas, although our next episode will be out on Christmas Day. What better than to carve the turkey and listen to us speaking about Billy and Albert? I don't know how good it is. We're not recording it till next week. But if you want to get in touch with us, you can. You can email us, cultureswally@gmail.com. Anything you want to recommend, any news stories you've seen. If you just want to say hello, then drop us a line. And Greg, we're available on a website as well. How am I fucking that up? Normally I always say we have a lovely website as well, but we have a website available to people, don't we?
We do. We have a website available on the internet, available to anybody who can type in the name of the website correctly. It's cultureswally.com there's links to all our episodes. I think 140.
Yes.
The last episode was 100. The Three Doors Down was 140.
Yep, it was.
So next year we'll be celebrating 150 episodes. So if we need something monumental for the 150th episode, so we're open to suggestions because picking stuff is hard sometimes for the pod. So you can get in touch with us through the website. There's links to our socials and even a Google email account. So get in touch with your suggestions for next year's 150th episode of the Culture Swally.
I do have an idea for the 150th, but we'll see. I think, We'll discuss that. Okay, but yeah, we'll see if any listeners suggest anything. So yeah, please get in touch. Wonderful. Right, well, are you up to anything else exciting today, Greg, or are you just going to sleep off? I noticed you had a little cheeky beer in terms of the second record.
I had a can of Juice Forsyth by the
Brilliant
Brew York Brewing Company. It's a fruity IPA. It's described as a pineapple and mango tropical fruit explosion. It's quite a lot of bits in it. And I have to say, I didn't really enjoy it. I forced it down. There's quite a lot of bit of sediment at the bottom of the glass there. So yeah, I don't recommend Juice Forsyth, although the can is quite a nice design. So yeah, I've not done the Wordle today yet. I used to like share my Wordles, because I started doing it when it came out, and then you and our mutual friend roasted me, so I stopped sharing it. But I've been committed to Wordle since whenever it started, like 2021, 2022. I've not done it today yet, so I'm going to go and do the Wordle.
Fair enough. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time doing your Wordle. And I don't think, for me and our mutual friend took the piss, it was just light-hearted banter, so you can share whatever you want.
I don't know anybody else who does the Wordle, so it's not even like I can like, I know like John Robbins on the Ellis and John podcast is an avid Wordler, and he's part of a group, and they sort of they share their grids every day to see who's solved it in the fewest turns. But I don't know anybody else who Wordles, so I just have to do it myself.
Just a way to go and have a little Wordle. And sort yourself out.
A right good Wordle.
Wonderful. Okay. Right. Well, I will see you next week for, 2 weeks' time. Well, next week we'll be recording for our Hogmanay episode, Craig. All right. Till next time.
Till the next time.
How dare you? You know absolutely nothing about me. You don't know any of us. So how dare you force your full, cheerful Christmas spirit on us? Yeah, I've seen your face when you think nobody's been looking. You are full of shit. And you know what? No amount of Christmas spirit is going to fix what broke you. So don't you dare drag us through this pantomime like puppets in your healing process. Grow up and leave me out of it.